Welcome to day 39 of the Seeker's Guide to Soul Contact. Hope you're enjoying the class so far. It will consist of 365 lessons to take you closer to the soul and spirit. If you miss some classes, you can catch up on them. We have them all recorded and they're listed at Free Read if you want to, freeread.com, my website, if you want to check there. Also, they're listed, the link is listed on YouTube. The theme for the day is, I will see myself as I am. Now, we've discussed that it's a precarious thing to criticize others. And because of human nature, any attempt at correction must be handled very delicately. We've also come to the realization that we as individuals do not like criticism either. And the tendency is to either take offense or outright reject what has been offered. But this is a mistake. If the criticism concerns a personality flaw or some weakness in a work you are attempting, then you should pay attention, even if the person comes across as extremely rude. To just outright reject a criticism because it is not given in the right tone may cause you to miss an opportunity to see a flaw and move yourself forward to real accomplishment. That said, there are criticisms that are best to outright ignore, such as those dealing with clashes of beliefs. For instance, if someone calls you stupid or ignorant because you voted for a different political candidate than he did, he's grouping you in with half the population he's insulting. These types of insults generally offer no need for introspection. On the other hand, a comment coming from a friend that deals with a specific flaw or problem concerning you as an individual should not be automatically discounted. If it rubs you the wrong way, then your emotional self will feel like rejecting it. But your mind must take over and say, I know this disturbs my feelings, but I need to ask myself if there's some improvement that I need to make in this area. I had a rude awakening when I was young that woke me up to becoming more open-minded toward criticism. When I was a teenager, I loved the early 60s music. I used to memorize many of the songs, and Del Shannon was my favorite. And I'd sing his songs around the house. And at the time, I thought I had a great voice. When I listened to myself, it sounded pretty good to me. In fact, I thought I could sing songs about as good as the original artists. What amazed me is that my mom and sister constantly complained about my singing. I could not understand this complaining and wrote it off as a lack of appreciation for modern music. I ignored them and kept on singing, thinking that eventually they would learn to like the songs as I had. My parents were divorced at the time, and my dad paid us a visit. He heard my singing, and it was just too much for him. He felt a need to enlighten me. He borrowed a tape recorder from the friend and brought it home. Because in those days, it was a novelty in the early 60s to have a tape recorder. And up to that point, I had never heard my voice played back to me. I just listened to my voice as I was singing along, but never on a tape recorder. My dad approached me with a mic and said, now sing that favorite song of yours. Well, I was eager to hear my beautiful voice, so I sang my favorite song, which was called Runaway. And it demanded a falsetto, so I thought that would sound really impressive. After I finished the song, my dad played it back to me with a knowing grin on his face. I couldn't believe my ears. I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. Surely the person on the tape couldn't be me. The voice on the tape sounded terrible, And when I hit the falsetto notes, the whole family justifiably laughed at my strange attempt. After listening to the tape, no one had to yell to me to shut up again. My ego was taken down several notches, and I realized that the criticisms of my singing voice were justified after all. This was a painful experience, but I'm very glad it happened because it woke me up to the fact that one should consider the truth behind criticism, even if it's dealt fairly harshly. And what does that have to do with soul contact? More important than eliminating personality flaws is to become self aware, and that the awareness of yourself should be accurate. Anytime you dispel an illusion, you're taking one step closer to your true self. Once you see your outer self accurately, you can then take steps to see the inner self correctly as well. The assignment today is to ask these questions to yourself and reflect on the answers. Do I see myself as I am or as I desire to be? Can I see myself through the eyes of others? Do I like what I see? Based on how others see me, what corrections do I need to make? And with this affirmation, I will see myself as others see me. A lot to think about, and we will see you tomorrow.